Hello everyone, in today's episode, we will take a look at another 7 important commands you should know that will enhance your experience when you use the Linux operating system. We will explain the following commands: mtr, more, move, mv, mmv, mkfifo, mkisfos, and Netstat, giving also a quick demo of usage in different scenarios that you can use. So to explain a bit more of all these commands, we'll give a wider definition of each one before we begin. Mtr Command. The Mtr command is a combination of ping and traceroute commands. It is a network diagnostic tool that continuously sends packets showing ping time for each hop. It also displays network problems for the entire route taken by the network packets. More Command. More Command is used to view the text files in the command prompt, displaying one screen at a time in case the file is large, for example log files. The more command also allows the user to do scroll up and down through the page. The syntax along with options and command is as follows. Another application of more is to use it with some other command after a pipe. When the output is large, we can use more command to see output one by one. MV command. MV stands for move. MV is used to move one or more files or directories from one place to another in a file system like Unix. It has two distinct functions. It renames a file or folder. It moves a group of files to a different directory. No additional space is consumed on a disk during renaming. This command normally works silently, means no prompt for confirmation. MMV command. MMV moves or copies, appends or links as specified, each source file matching a form of pattern to the target name specified by the to pattern. This multiple action is performed safely, for example, without any unexpected deletion of files due to collisions of target names with existing file names or with other target names. Furthermore, before doing anything, MMV attempts to detect any errors that would result from the entire set of actions specified and gives the user the choice of either proceeding by avoiding the offending parts or aborting. MMV does support large files, LFS, but it does not support sparse files. mkfifo command. mkfifo makes a FIFO special file with name, pathname, and mode specifies the FIFO's permissions. It is modified by the process's umask in the usual way. The permissions of the created file are mode and umask. A FIFO special file is similar to a pipe, except that it is created in a different way. Instead of being an anonymous communication channel, a FIFO special file is entered into the file system by calling mkfifo. Once you have created a FIFO special file in this way, any process can open it for reading or writing in the same way as an ordinary file. However, it has to be open at both ends simultaneously before you can proceed to do any input or output operations on it. Opening a FIFO for reading normally blocks until some other process opens the same FIFO for writing, and vice versa. mkisfos command. mkisfos command in Linux is used to create file systems for writing on CD-ROM devices. The CD record utility will actually burn the disk. The mkisfos command prepares the files to be burnt on the medium, so basically mkisfos creates an ISO file, which is the image file archive of the optical disk. Netstat is a command line utility that can be used to list out all the network socket connections on a system. It lists out all the TCP, UDP socket connections and the Unix socket connections. Apart from connected sockets, it can also list listening sockets that are waiting for incoming connections. So the first thing we'll look at is mtr, a combination of ping and traceroute commands. The second thing we'll look at is more, view text files one screen at a time in the terminal. The third thing we'll look at is mv, is used to move files or directories from the terminal. The fourth thing we'll look at is mmv, copy, move, append, link files using specific patterns. The fifth thing we'll look at is mkfifo, creates FIFO special files in the order specified. The sixth thing we'll look at is mkisfos, create file systems for writing on CD-ROM devices. And the seventh thing we'll look at is Netstat, list out all the socket connections on a system. So let's jump in. So we're going to start with the first command, which is mtr. By providing the help, you can see there's a lot of parameters and options you can use, so make sure to look into them. We're going to demonstrate some of these parameters in order to show you how you can use mtr. So first you can type mtr-r-c, and you can understand what each one means by checking out the options. So we're going to trace route google.com, and we're going to perform only 10 report recycle counts. So it's going to go ahead and check this and perform 10 times the trace routing, and it will save the results in the file that we have specified, which is mtr-command-google. So as soon as it's done, it's going to complete this, and we can cat out the results in order to see how this went. So by typing just cat and then mtr-command-google, it's going to give us all of the things that we have done by trace routing a specific domain, which is very helpful if you're studying the trace routing between a specific domain. So we're going to move into the next command, which is more. So by providing help, you can see there's a lot of options that you can use. So make sure also to look into them. So we're catting out this file, which consists from 1 to 30. So by using more, you can specify what you want to display from this file. So by providing the +10, as you can see, it's going to show us whatever comes after 10 since we added the +10. So that's why you can see 10 till 30. By providing -10, it's going to give us whatever comes below 10. So it's very useful to examine log files and large files, especially if you're like reading code and trying to perform some log file debugging. So moving to the next command, we're going to look into the mv command. So there is a lot of options that you can use, and mostly it's to move or rename from source to destination. So as you can see, we're going to move box 1 into box, and now it has been replaced with box. So you can see now inside it there are a lot of files. So we have used the specific command, and we're going to use the mmv, which is very similar. However, it uses the task differently. Whether you're moving or appending, you're going to see that we're going to give it a pattern, which is star.png, to collect all of the images and then move them into completely another directory using the specific pattern. So as you can see now, it has done the command within seconds, and if you check and compare the one with before, you're going to see the difference. So moving to the next command now, we're going to be using mkfifo. So we're going to list the directory with this specific pattern in order to show you how you can use the specific command. So if you use mkfifo and then you give it help, you can notice there are different modes that you can use. So we're going to use mkfifo on pipe 2, and as you can see, we have listed all of the files you can see from here. So this way, it will save all of the results when we open it in the next terminal. So as you can see, we can reverse it, and now as soon as we type this, you notice that it has saved everything on the left side of the file. So it has to be opened simultaneously for this to work. So now we're going to move to the next command, which is mkisfos. So this tool can be used for a lot of purposes, especially like archiving and backup. You can create ISO files. Instead of just burning them on a DVD, you can keep them in a local copy or a backup external location. So by providing the -r and -o, we are gonna specifically specify retropie.iso, and as you can see, it has successfully archived it into an ISO file, a complete folder containing all of the files. So you can see now it says retropie.iso. So now we're going to take a look at the command called Netstat. So this is also available in Windows, but in Linux you can maximize it using the specific patterns. So it's going to examine all of the incoming and outgoing connections are established on your machine. As you can see, every single process is taking a socket, and you can see whatever is connected, incoming and outgoing from your machine, understanding if somebody else is connected, or if you're looking specifically to see what sort of communication is happening between your machine on a software level and a hardware level. As you can see, we have used the -IC, which gives us the interface, incoming and outgoing connection, in order to examine it. So thank you for watching, hopefully you enjoyed this, and as always, until next time.